So here we are in my office with a lot of things from the past packed up because of some room renovation they were doing. But in any event, I've left it packed up because a lot of it is going to the University of Rochester Library. So I was going through some stuff, and here's what I found. The bottom drawer of the desk is always a good place to start. And I found this folder from AIDS Rochester that goes back to starting around 1986. And it is the Ombudsman Committee folder from AIDS Rochester. That's the advocacy committee internally for AIDS Rochester that looked at issues of patients, clients, complaints and concerns about a whole variety of things related to their HIV diagnosis. And so it looks like this is represents a couple cases from AIDS Rochester clients. It gets pretty aggressive and contentious in terms of the back and forth with at least two patients that I knew from that era interacting with AIDS Rochester and talking about issues of stigma, discrimination, aspects of their care, and the aspects of their interaction with AIDS Rochester. And as I think about it, I think it's more than that, because what this represents is a time during the AIDS epidemic, very early in the AIDS epidemic, just after the start of treatment, where we were still getting our feet on the ground in terms of what was going on and how to interact with people around these issues. And there were a lot of struggles that are reflected in this material. And one of them is a back and forth between the AIDS Rochester people and one of their clients, who was a patient of ours, and the psychiatrist seeing the patient. And the concern on the AIDS Rochester part was that the patient was being aggressive and demanding. And the psychiatrist wrote back in her note and said that essentially, yeah, this guy is being demanding, but you have to understand the background here, and he's just frightened to death. He's alone, and he's frightened, and he has no one, and you're his anchor. And I think the issue there is that it reflects the anxiety and the tension and the disruption of that whole era. It's a remarkable read, and really sobering after all these years. Now, I have another piece in this file that is here. From October 1986, this is an inter-office memo from Jackie Nudd, who was the executive director of AIDS Rochester, the first executive director of AIDS Rochester, sent to 5 of her staff. It's called About Staff Behavior. This is the later side here. It is considered inappropriate behavior for chaste staff members to comment on unchaste behavior of other staff members who go around horny all the time, and for those staff members who are knocked up all the time. Wow. I think I have a feel for what's going on here, and that is that probably related to gossip and stigmatizing people and limits and those kinds of things. And of course, it's heavily veiled. But the language is just curious. Chaste and unchaste, horny all the time, and knocked up are the words that stand out here. And, it's kind of early bureaucraties of the AIDS movement, talking about, I suspect, boundaries and that sort of thing, because you have to remember that the AIDS epidemic is has so much sexual overlay to it. It's a sexually transmitted infection. The patients and clients that people see are your friends, your family members, people you've gone to school with, all of that. So that's what's in the bottom drawer here.